Okay, well, welcome guys. This is Your Brain on Kundalini Yoga. And for those of you who are new to Kundalini Yoga, Kundalini is an ancient practice of yoga whose teachings have been brought to the United States by a wonderful yogi named Yogi back in 1969. And he brought these ancient teachings to us for the purpose of gaining connection to our highest truth, to our true nature, evolving the consciousness through what is called Kriya. Kriya is a succession of movements, breath, and sound with the scientific guarantee of evolution, of change, of transformation. Hi, come on in. Hey, Jerry. Yeah, I'm glad you came. So I'm just going into the detail, you guys, that are just arriving, of what Kundalini Yoga is. It's an ancient technology designed, or its intention is to evolve or awaken the consciousness through clearing blocks in the energy centers. We have 7 chakras. Today's class is going to be specifically focused on the brain and the benefits. You look so entertained. The benefits that Kundalini Yoga brings to the brain, right? Through meditation, through chanting, through pranayama, and through physical movement, we can clear the subconscious. So we're going to be working on a Kriya today that helps us clear the subconscious, clear subconscious blocks. And we're also going to be doing a special meditation called Kirtan Kriya, which has years of research backing up the benefits to the brain for a lot of dysfunctions of the brain. Namely, the research has been done on dementia and Alzheimer's disease, both in a preventative measure, how this meditation can help prevent the onslaught of these diseases or down-regulate the genes that bring those diseases into effect. And also, people who are experiencing those diseases, this particular meditation helps alleviate some of the symptoms and the damage done to the brain as a result of these diseases. So it's actually quite miraculous. You have the Alzheimer's Research Foundation, you have UCLA, you have Harvard doing studies on this particular meditation. So we'll be doing the meditation, I'll be detailing some findings behind that. But before we get into all that, we start by tuning in to our energy. When we tune in, we chant a particular mantra. It's called the Adi mantra. And what this mantra does is it connects us to our true nature, our highest nature. The mantra is Ong Namo Gurudev Namo. It's translated into I bow to the divine teacher within. So we're calling on our true nature. We're calling on our divine essence. In addition, Yogi Bhajan tells us that we're connecting to what's called the golden chain of ancient saints and sages. And we're rubbing the hands together, stimulating 72,000 energy channels. So when we connect to the golden chain, we are, through vibration, connecting to the ancient saints and sages who've been chanting this mantra thousands of years ago, right? If you believe in that stuff, beyond space and time. All right, let's put the hands into the heart center. And those of you with mantra sheets, it's the first mantra on your sheet. We chant Ong Namo Gurudev Namo. And what's beautiful about chanting is we use the rib cage and the skull as chambers for vibration. And we use the upper palate of the roof of the mouth. When we hit the tongue repetitively on these meridian points, it stimulates hypothalamus, pituitary, and pineal glands in the brain. So chanting is not just sanctimonious, there's an actual science behind chanting. So let's take a deep inhale through the nose. Engage root lock, that's sex organ, rectum, navel muscles, eyes drop to third eye center. And then exhale, release. And then inhale to begin the Adi mantra. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev. suspend the breath gently. Extend the belly out, engage the root lock, and draw the eyes up to third eye center. Keep the breath suspended. And exhale, release. Okay. The second mantra on your sheet is a protection mantra. We chant this mantra to sort of bring ourselves in a vibrationary space of protection and security. And this mantra is a mantra that helps us surrender to that law of the universe. Generate, organize, and destroy, the acronym being, in this case, God, right? So there is a greater power at force that this style of yoga recognizes that brings things into being, that allows them to be, and that transforms and causes death and transformation. And the more that we can surrender as human beings to this law that is greater than our ego, that's greater than our will, we find peace, serenity, stability through that movement of energy, through that movement and transition of nature. So as we chant this mantra, we're surrendering to the greater law of the universe: generate, organize, and destroy. It's the second mantra on your sheet. If you know the mantra, please chant along. If you don't, either word it out or just listen to it as a blessing. Again, hands at the heart center. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Exhale. Eyes are closed. Inhale to begin. Argure name, Jugar Gure name, Sat Gure name, Sri Gurudev name. Argure name, Jugar Gure name, Sat Gure name, Sri Gurudev name. Argure name, Jugar Gure name, Sat Gure name, Sri Gurudev name. Inhale. Root lock, third eye focus. And exhale, release. Hands come down onto the knees and just sit in a gentle meditation for a moment. So in coming into the space of vibration through connecting, through chanting, through energy, connecting with the eyes closed, right? As soon as the eyes are closed, we move from a stimulated perspective to an introspective perspective. And when the eyes are closed, we can start to kind of analyze or feel our internal environment. When we practice Kundalini Yoga, we're doing energy work. We're recognizing energy centers. We call them nadis. We have energy moving through the body. These channels are called nadis, and the energy centers are called chakras. And when we practice with the eyes closed, we start to develop a subtler, more intimate relationship with these energy centers. Now I'm going to start by having you guys just start to warm up the spine and warm up the muscles that support the pelvis. We're coming into Sufi circles. Inhaling the heart forward and exhaling, rounding back. The eyes are closed, and what we're doing here is we're loosening up tension in and around the spine and the pelvis. And when we do this, we start to loosen up the energy around the spine. And at the base of the spine, this is where the Kundalini energy sits. Today's class is specifically focused on what Kundalini Yoga does to serve the brain in relation to the clearing of the subconscious and in relation to the healing and the activation and the evolution of the brain, which results in the evolution of our consciousness and of our being. Okay, so let's do a couple more rotations in this direction. Eyes are closed and we're breathing. Right? This change in the nervous system begins with the breath, inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the nose. Yogi Bhajan says that we get a 4-cycle amount of pressure on the subconscious. A thought arises. A thought becomes a feeling. And it either becomes a feeling that you feel or goes into the subconscious. And that feeling either becomes an emotion or that goes into the subconscious. The emotion can become a desire or it goes into the subconscious. The desire is either fulfilled or that unfulfilled desire goes into the subconscious. So as you can tell, the subconscious is constantly overloaded with information, right? And if we don't have a mechanism through which to unload that, it starts to spill in to the unconscious. Inhale, hold the center. Exhale, reverse direction. And allow these to be really smooth movements. Breath is accommodating. And when the subconscious becomes overloaded and rolls into the unconscious, he says we then lose the capacity for presence. We lose the capacity to think and use our intelligence. And the unconscious is a very small sphere of the mind. So when it becomes full, it unloads then into the conscious mind. So now the conscious mind, it gets polluted by what the subconscious could not hold sustainable in the unconscious. And once the conscious mind is polluted by the unconscious, we are living a life of nightmares and daydreams, as Yogi Bhajan would say. We completely lose presence. And this is where Kundalini Yoga and meditation and yoga in general is very serving, because the mechanisms employed in these technologies helps clear the subconscious so this information does not fall into the unconscious and then be regurgitated into the conscious mind. Today's Kriya set we are going to do is fantastic for relieving stress and clearing the subconscious. Inhale, pull the heart forward, stretch open through the heart. Exhale, round and tuck the tail, spinal flex. Inhaling, exhaling. Eyes are drawn up to the third eye center, directing the flow of energy through the body. We're raising the energy, we're moving energy. As it said, energy travels where your focus is. So if we draw it up to the high centers in the brain, we're moving the energy up through the chakra centers. Good. Let's go for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, lift through the heart, shoulders drop away from the ears, and hands come on to the shoulders. I'm going to inhale, twist left, exhale, twist right. Inhaling and exhaling. What we're doing here is really beautiful. First, we're wringing out the intestines and the low body organs, right? Creating purity from within, getting rid of toxins that compromise our mind and our emotions. And we're using the breath to cleanse these toxins out through the bloodstream. We're also opening and inviting energy up into the heart chakra, which is the gateway to the high triangle of consciousness. We have 2 triangles of consciousness. First, second, and third chakra are associated with our sort of survivalistic tendencies, right? Safety, security, stability, creation, procreation, identity, and power. As we move up higher in our centers of consciousness, we move to love, compassion, truth, intuition, and connection to divine source energy. So inviting that energy up into the heart. Let's go for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold center. Inhale, reach the arms up. And then exhale, bow forward, stretching through the low back. Forehead comes down. And just breathe while you're down there. Now, how is it that we clear the subconscious through Kundalini Yoga? Our active daily lives are focused in beta brainwaves. Take a deep inhale, look forward to the hands, and come onto your hands and knees. We're in tabletop position. Let's close the eyes. And let's lift through the chin and the tail, flex the spine. Exhale, bow and round. Cat-cow. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. We're distributing cerebrospinal fluid through the central channel of the spine here. Breath is nice and deep. The more movement, the more flexibility, the more life force energy we can distribute through the spine, the more the nervous system can accommodate this evolution of consciousness. Beta brainwaves is our daily active life, the brainwaves of daily active living. Alpha and theta brainwaves are what are implemented once we start in yogic practice. It's that of relaxation, the stimulation of the parasympathetic nervous system, and meditation, and even healing, right? Self-healing. When we slow the brain waves, it moves us out of the neocortex, which is the thinking brain, into the midbrain, the limbic system, where the autonomic nervous system lives and resides. Also where hypothalamus, pituitary, and pineal glands live. Just keep going for a few more. The autonomic nervous system creates order and balance in the body for healing, house cleaning of the subconscious. And it brings us to expanded states and divergent focus. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, lift high through the chin and the tail. Exhale, round, tuck the tail, dome the back. And then let's come back seated in a cross-leg position. Now, if sitting in cross-leg is a challenge for you for any length of time, feel free to extend your legs out, do whatever you got to do to make yourself comfortable. So this is going to be a 3-set Kriya, and each set is going to be roughly 11 minutes long. And the reason we do these exercises for so long is because we want to move past a threshold of resistance. And they're not going to be complicated or challenging or tough, but they're going to require you to maintain a level of directed focus, right? They say that your attention span now is that of 15 seconds. So try and do something consistently for 11 minutes. It's actually kind of hard, right? But as we train ourselves to do these things, we create such an impact on the brain that it creates such transformation with our ability to live in our highest purpose and evolve the consciousness to its highest potential. This is a beautiful technology that we've been given that used to actually be secret and not allowed to get in the hands of common people. And now that we live in this extended age, the Aquarian age, these teachings are available to us free in a beautiful green space, you know, sharing each other's company. So the first thing we're going to do, I'm going to take my left hand and rest it on my heart center. I'm connecting energy to the heart center. Yes? You can take a rest anytime you want. Yes. Yeah, there is no forceful teacher sitting up here. This is only a teacher offering suggestions. So if you feel that you've reached your limit, hang out. Okay? And the good news is even if she sat in the back of the class and did absolutely nothing, the collective energy of evolution that's going on, she receives benefit regardless. So if you want to go to a Kundalini Yoga class and you're like, but I'm beat, I'm tired, sit in the back of the room, you'll receive benefit energetically, right? We have auric fields that expand and affect others around us. So it's pretty magical. Okay, left hand is on the heart, and the right hand is cupped right in front of us. Now this work is going to affect the kidney meridian and the kidney energy. We're also going to be working on the adrenals, the lungs, and the hip area, pelvic bone, believe it or not, right? Because it doesn't really feel like any hip work will be done. My eyes are closed, I'm going to inhale, and then like I'm throwing water over my shoulder, I'm just going to inhale, exhale, past my right ear. And this is where calling in a nice, even breath is going to be serving to you to help you maintain focus on this activity. Eyes are closed and drawn up to third eye center. Good. So every exhale, you're throwing that water over the back of your shoulder. Good. And just stay with it. And the beautiful thing about Kundalini Yoga is that it's pitting you up right against yourself right here, right? 3 minutes into this, your mind may start to wander on the food trucks. Your mind may start to wander on the fact that tomorrow's Monday. And then you have to bring it right back to the breath and right back to the activity. And this is what we call one-pointed focus. And in order to affect the kidney meridian, it's said that you're going to want to make sure that that hand passes the ear, okay? Here we go. Allow it to be nice and meditative. Very gentle, very soothing. Good. And just be in your own little universe here. Eyes closed, drawn up to the third eye center. And see if you can draw awareness around the field of energy that extends beyond your body as you do this. Feeling that magnetic field that's being emanated from the physical matter of your body. Matter is nothing more than energy vibrating at a particular frequency. So when we start to make change to the chemicals in the brain and the way our energy systems operate, the 7 chakras, we start to actually make impactful change on the matter of our bodies. Have an intimate experience with yourself about resistance, apathy. Are you putting your heart into this and investing the focus, or is this just a series of movements that you're moving through in order to get to the next one? This is yoga. Good. Keep that breath nice and even. This activity is getting rid of stress. It's getting rid of inner mental and physical tension. And it's increasing vitality. They call Kundalini Yoga the weird yoga, right? Because how could something like this affect me? The reality is this is not muscles. We're working energy lines. We're working meridians. We're working energy centers. There's a mystical, mysterious element to this practice. And the reinforcement is the experience that you receive as a result of doing the practice, whether it's once or whether it's over the course of many years. It is an undeniable shift in energy and consciousness. Keep with it. Stay in your heart, stay with the breath. We have about 3 minutes left. If I'm timing this properly, it might be a little short of 11 minutes. And if you open your ears up to the mantra, what you're also hearing is technology at play. The vibration of sound, sacred words, hummy hum, brahm hum. We are God. God being, again, that unseen force in this context that generate, organize, and destroy force of the universe. It's a law. Undeniable, unavoidable. The more we can surrender to the flow of that law, the more in harmony we are with nature. Stay with me, stay focused. Keep that breath moving. "30 more seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, stretch that right arm as back as far as you can while holding the breath, drawing the eyes up to third eye center. Exhale, release the right arm down. One more time. Inhale, lift, draw the arm back. Eyes drop, suspend it. Root lock. And exhale, release. Hands come down, palms face up on the knees. So good job. You just worked kidneys, adrenals, lungs, hip area, pelvic bone. Didn't even feel a thing. All right, the next Kriya set involves a mantra. And in the upper palate, right behind the teeth, we have what's called the 34th, the 35th, and the 36th meridian point. And as you say the sound HUD, which is H-A-R, but with a Spanish R, so it sounds more like HUD, you're actually putting pressure on that meridian point. So HUD, 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 HUD. What we're doing, the sound HA, is drawing all this energy at the navel center, and then when we use the inflection of the tongue, it takes the energy and rises it right up into the brain. So there's the technology of mantra at play in the body of in the energy bodies. Okay? So what this does is it affects the chakras, the gray matter of the brain, and opens up the serum of the spine. So we're talking about cerebral spinal fluid here. We are going to take the elbows in close to the body and create what's called Shuni Mudra. Shuni Mudra is when you connect the thumb to the middle finger, the Saturn finger. And when we say HUD, each time we say HUD, we're going to flick the finger. HUD, HUD, HUD. Got it? Okay. Let me get that sound queued up. And again, the eyes are going to be drawn up to third eye center. This is a direction of the flow of energy up through the brain center. And be very vocal with this mantra. Really allow the energy to move through the navel, to move through the heart, to move through the throat, and affect the glands in the brain. Hypothalamus, pituitary, pineal gland through those meridian points. Okay? The mantra's going to start in just a moment here. Get in position, elbows tight into the body, and get your mudra all set up. Take a deep breath in through the nose and out through the nose. Here we go. Flick the finger. HUD, 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 powerful, HUD, 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 stay on the beat, HUD, 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 HUD. See if we can go louder. HUD, 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 HUD. Good. Keep with it. HUD, 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 envision the energy rising. Listen to the music and align. HUD, 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 Beautiful. Regulating hormones of the brain. Balancing out the chakras. Revitalizing gray matter of the brain. Hut, 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 hut. Beautiful. Hut, 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 hut. 3 more minutes. Hut, 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 hut. Eyes are drawn up to third eye center. Hut, 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 hut. Loud on the last minute. Here we go. Hut, 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 hut. 10, 9, 8, 7, 5, 4, 3, 2, inhale and continue to flick the fingers as you hold the breath. Keep the breath held and flick those fingers. Keep it held, suck in a little bit more and flick those fingers. And then exhale, cannon out through the mouth. And just sit in a gentle meditation. Now the beautiful thing about mudra, the interplay of the fingers affects the lobes of the brain. Depending on the finger that we're working and the way that we're using and positioning the pressure on the finger affects the brain. Isn't that really beautiful? So there's a science and technology just behind mudra, just behind drishti. And in a lot of these westernized styles of yoga, all of that is washed out. And there's a real beautiful essence and nourishment to the subtler essences, whether it be chanting, whether it be mudra, whether it be drishti. There's a science and a technology all behind this stuff. And when we push it out because it's uncomfortable or it maybe isn't culturally valued or relevant, we're losing a lot of the essence and nourishment from the practice of yoga. It's one of the things I love about Kundalini, because it is an ancient practice and the purpose is not to change these teachings because they are a science and a technology. If I were to put my own spin on this, it would minimize the impact or completely destroy it altogether. Okay, the last part of this physical kriya before we get into our meditation balances the sympathetic and the parasympathetic nervous system. So sympathetic is our fight or flight, freeze or faint. It's what we do to respond to stress. And much of our daily activities, even though we don't have any natural predators, is involved in this sympathetic nervous system because we're constantly stimulated and we're constantly in a rush and we constantly need to do and do and do. And so the sympathetic nervous system is constantly activated and our adrenals and our kidneys get overburdened. And so you have a lot of immune disorders that are kind of mysterious. You have chronic fatigue or you have adrenal fatigue. And this is partially due, and maybe in a large part, due to this overburdening of a part of our nervous system that is only supposed to be used in small spurts. And happens to be now our main course of behavior. So when we balance out the sympathetic and the parasympathetic nervous system, we remind the nervous system on how to rest, digest, restore, and create, and heal. And we're creating neural pathways that have otherwise been circumvented in order to allow us to remember to fall back in place with the parasympathetic. Think of a deer in nature The mountain lion chases it immediately, the sympathetic nervous system kicks into play. The second that that mountain lion is out of the way, the deer is back to grazing. Parasympathetic nervous system is back in play. We as human beings like what we have as far as storylines are concerned. So we'll sit there and be like, did you see that mountain lion? Oh my God, he thinks blah, blah, blah. And we rehearse the storyline and adhere to the story and remain in that activated state. So we re-educate ourselves on how to just let it go and receive, okay? So this next set is going to be exactly that. Now, depending on your shoulder strength and flexibility, I have some modification ideas. My arms are going to be out with the palms face down at a 60-degree angle. And the same thing, we're going to be chanting Har, H-A-R, and we're going to be crossing the arms in front of the heart. So there's some bilateral movement going on here. And as we chant, we're just going to cross the arms in front of the heart. Now, this may provide or present some challenge in the shoulders. Now, within your boundaries of pushing your limits that are within the allowable range, see if you can move beyond the uncomfortable, right? Test yourself, challenge yourself. But if you know that you're in a place where that's not going to work, then you can bring it down with bent elbows, okay? But I encourage you to try it as best you can into that realm of challenge, because what we're doing is we're approaching the ego. We're stepping right up to the ego where we're like, oh, I hate this, I want to quit, right? That's the ego that says, I'm going to stop, I'm going to give up, I'm going to run away, I'm going to quit, all of these things. If we move into the boundary of just breathing into it and saying, I can go maybe 30 more seconds, maybe I could go a minute longer. This is how marathon runners train. This is how yogis train, okay? So let's see what we can do with that. All right, get those arms up at 60 degrees. Let's start again. Feel it, guys. Har, 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 har. Hitting those meridian points on the roof of the mouth. Har, 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 har. Eyes are closed, breath is self-regulated. Har, 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 har. Clearing the subconscious. Sinking into this. Letting it be your only focus. Har, 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 har. Envision yourself wiping the slate clean of your unconscious, of your subconscious. Sparkling, fresh, new approach to presence. Har, 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 har. Recognize when the ego steps up. Can you override it? Har, 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 har. If you start to feel weak, see if you can make yourself feel stronger. Will it to be. Energize yourself. Enthusiasm. Har, 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 har. Keep with it. Har, 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 har. We got 3 more minutes of this. Har, you can do it. Har, har, har. Facing right up against that part of yourself that wants to quit. How can you establish balance, relaxation, breath, and calm? Har, 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 har. Last minute, let's go as loud as we can. Har, 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 keep those arms moving as you hold the breath. Keep the breath held and move those arms for about 10 more seconds. Feeling the pressure on the rib cage. 5, 4, 3, 2, and cannon breath out through the mouth. And release it down, palms face up, and just sit gentle. Long, deep breathing. And notice within yourself what that chanting does for the navel center energy. That hud sound activates the dantian, that center of our being. Our aliveness. Stay with the eyes closed. So as we sit in meditation, we're going to be transitioning into our final meditation, which is called Kirtan Kriya. And Kirtan Kriya, as I mentioned before, is a meditation that has a lot of years of research backing up the benefits it has to the brain on both a restorative capacity and healing capacity and in a preventative measure. So we can prevent damage to the brain or prevent the activation of bad genes, right, inflammatory genes. We can down-regulate the activation of those genes by the use of this meditation. Really beautiful stuff, right? Medication not needed. The term Kriya in Sanskrit means sequence movement to bring body, emotions, mind, body, and emotions into balance and create healing. The mantra that we use will be Sa, Ta, Na, Ma. So there's a lot of inflection going on here in the mouth, within the lips and the tongue. Sa, Ta, Na, Ma. That is sort of a broken down version of the mantra Satnam. In Kundalini, Satnam means truth is my name, or truth is my identity, or truth is my essence. Because that's what we're aiming for. That's what we're working toward, is drawing to our truest and deepest nature, our truest authentic existence. And so as we chant Satanama, the chanting sounds place the tongue again on the roof of the mouth in a very specific way, activating meridian points and activating glands in the brain. It causes a beneficial biochemical transformation in the brain. And when studies were done on this particular meditation, which involved hand movements and mantra, if they used a different mantra like, I don't know, let's say apple, orange, rabbit, sunshine. It just came out of nowhere. They proved that any other mantra was less effective, whatever it was. So Satanama has a true essence of benefit beyond anything else. So there's a technology in that mantra in and of itself. Beautiful, right? Now the mudra involves the articulation of the different fingertips. As I chant Sa, I hit thumb and index finger. As I chant Ta, or Sa, as I chant Ta, I hit my middle finger. Na, I hit ring finger. Ma, I hit pinky. So it's Sa, Ta, Na, Ma, Sa, Ta, Na, Ma. Okay? The fingertips positioning in conjunction with the sound enhances the blood flow to motor sensory parts of the brain. It affects the frontal lobe, the parietal lobe, the temporal lobe, and the occipital lobe of the brain. So all of these inflections on the finger are affecting the lobes of the brain. And again, other movements, other mudras, whatever it be, that were done at the same time, just as a control mechanism in these research studies, showed no benefit. So this is, again, a science and a technology that is part of this. So these ancient yogis knew something that was really sacred and really beautiful that still benefits us to this day to bring us to our higher potential of consciousness, right? Talk about evolution. They had it way better than we did. We just didn't know it. Okay. So the improvements or the benefits that this meditation brings, and this has been scientifically proven by the Alzheimer's Research Foundation, UCLA studies, Harvard studies, years of research on this back from the late 90s. Improved memory, reduction of stress, enhanced blood flow to the brain, increased brain size. So I also realized that if you do it too much, is your brain going to get too big? No, that's not the case. Improved brain chemistry. So we increase the amount of neurotransmitters which allow and improve the brain cell communication. Increased telomerase, which is an enzyme that controls the length of the telomeres. Telomeres are like an end cap of the DNA strand, and the longer the telomeres are, the longer the lifespan and the more health and longevity and vitality we have. Alternatively, if you have shorter telomeres, you're increased likelihood of Alzheimer's, dementia, early aging, and shorter lifespan. Down-regulation of inflammatory genes, bad genes, up-regulation of good genes like immunity. Sleep improvement, increased clarity, and purposeness and well-being, and purposefulness and well-being in life. So this has been a study done over many years. It was an 11-week study, every day for 11 minutes. And so we're going to do that meditation. And Satnam. So for 2 minutes, we chant it out loud. For 2 minutes, we chant it in a whisper. For 2 minutes, we chant it mentally. Right? So we think it, we vibrate it through thought, which is a vibration similar to sound, just subtler. And then we bring it back to a whisper, and then we bring it back to an audible chant through the mouth. Okay? So out loud, whisper, silent, whisper, out loud. And Yogi Bhajan said that the reason we do out loud, whisper, and silent is that there are 3 languages of consciousness. Our verbal expression, the softer, or he would say lover's expression through the whisper, and the mental expression. Okay, so let's get in position. Eyes are closed, drawn up to third eye center. Excuse me, allergies. I can't believe I didn't put it on my playlist. Bear with me. Good news is it's always ready for cue. Okay, here we go. Kirtan Kriya. So just listen to it as it begins, and remember the articulation of the fingers even during silence. Sa, ta, na, ma. Out loud. Sa, ta, na, ma. 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 Beautiful. Eyes are drawn up to the crown of the head, focusing on that gateway to the higher consciousness. Satanama, 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 Satanama. Satanama, 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 Satanama. Whisper. Feel the breath in your throat, hot. And if you want to apply a visualization, try and envision the energy coming through the crown of the head on every chant of the mantra, cycling through the third eye center in an L-shaped position. If that is a challenge for you to visualize, then let it go. It's okay. Good. Stay focused. Eyes are drawn up. Moving those fingers. Now silent, think it. Thinking, sa, ta, na, ma, and try and envision it as a ripple through water, vibrating out like a frequency you're emitting from the mind, from the brain. Sa, ta, na, ma. Keep the fingers moving. It's a point in this meditation where we easily get distracted by thought. Keep your thought on the mantra. Gentle articulation in the fingers. It's a good time to employ that visualization, energy coming in through the crown of the head and expressing out through the third eye center, the space between the eyebrows. Every time you mentally chant the mantra. Stay with it. Keep those fingers moving. Try your best to stay passively focused and don't fall asleep. We're almost back to whisper. Whisper. Sa, ta, na, ma. Sa, ta, na, ma. Sa, ta, na, ma. Sa, ta. Keep those eyes drawn up. Sa, ta, na, ma. 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 Sa, ta. And out loud. Satanama, Satanama. Sing it out. Satanama, 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 Satanama. Inhale. Deep suspending of the breath, root lock, third eye focus. Keep the breath held, keep the breath held, suspending. Exhale, sit for a moment in stillness. Just easy breathing. And then everyone reach your hands up high, extend the arms up to the sky, reach the fingers and spread the fingers wide, stretching through the spine. So extending through the crown of the head, chin tucks. Take a few long, deep breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Affecting the cerebral spinal fluid of the spine. Inhale, hold. And then exhale, release, extend the arms down, and gently come laying down onto the back. Shaking the legs out, allowing the feet and thighs to turn out naturally. Tailbone turns down, chin tucks to the chest. Palms face up so the heart opens up. Jaw softens. Tongue relaxes in the mouth. Ears fall back. Eyes sink back. And relax. Gently wiggling your fingers and your toes. Draw your knees into your chest, wrapping your forearms around your shins. Rock from side to side. And feeling the space around you, rock onto one side or the other, whichever side feels like there's the most amount of space. Maybe we all roll onto our right side, that way collisions are minimized. And come into a fetal position. And while you're in this position, take a deep breath in through the nose and sigh it out through the mouth. One more time, in through the nose, inside out through the mouth. Using your top hands, push yourself up seated, cross-leg position. Now, what you guys just participated in was considered, or is, ancient technology toward evolution of consciousness. And part of the evolution of consciousness requires healing and restoring parts of ourselves that have been degraded, broken down or compromised. Right? It requires a constant effort toward rebuilding our frequency. When our frequency of vibration is higher, our matter is aligned in a more organized way. So we are using energy, vibration, light, all of these things in order to create a more authentic and more what's the word I'm looking for? Truthful nature of ourselves, both on a physical, emotional, spiritual level, right? So at the end of every Kundalini class, this is not part of the ancient technology, but this is part of the cultural tradition of Kundalini Yoga. Yogi Bhajan brought this technology to us back in 1969. And some of his students had given him a song as a gift, and the song is The Long Time Sun, which is a song that we sing at the end of every Kundalini Yoga class. Some of you may be familiar with it, some of you may not be. The lyrics are, may the long time sun shine upon you, all love surround you, and the light within you guide your way on. So we participate in this cultural practice because Yogi Bhajan asked that at the end of every Kundalini Yoga class, we sing this song. So who am I to argue with a brilliant man? So let's bring our hands to the heart center. And at the end of these 3 rounds of the long time sun, we declare through vibration the sound Satnam, which means truth is my identity. We vibrate that sound strong and powerfully, casting out an intention to gain access to our higher self, right? So hands come to the heart center. Let's take a deep breath in through the nose. Exhale and inhale to begin the song. May the long time sun shine upon you, all love surround you, and the pure light within you guide your way on. May the sun shine upon you, all love surround you, and the pure light within you guide your way on. May the long time sun shine upon you, all love surround you, and the pure light within you guide your way on, guide your way on, guide your way on. Deep inhale. Satnam. Satnam. Take a deep inhale through the nose. Suspend the breath. Bring folded hands to third eye center, blessing that you'll be guided by intuition and have the wisdom and courage to follow it. Exhale, bowing forward, Satnam. Namaste. Thank you, Yogi Bhajan. Inhale, rise. Blink your eyes open. Great job, guys. Give yourselves a hand. Now, I'm going to answer two questions off the bat because they always come, which is one, why do Kundalini Yoga teachers or Kundalini yogis wear white? We're not a cult. There is a understanding of how light travels, right? When we're talking about matter, we're talking about frequency, we're getting into science. A fabric, a natural fabric that is white reflects the most amount of light. So I am enhancing, I'm doing what's called auric color therapy. I'm enhancing my auric field by allowing the most amount of light to reflect into that field. So that's why Kundalini yogis wear white. Number two, why do Kundalini yogis cover their head? One, we cover our head with a white colored fabric for the same reason. Two, we're covering the crown chakra, which is the most subtle chakra and connected to the most subtle natures of reality, right? The connection to the divine. So sometimes you get a little frenetic, you get a little ungrounded when you connect to these high centers. This helps keep us balanced and grounded. Additionally, if you actually tie a traditional turban, the turban is not only a cultural thing, but the turban has access to meridian points on the skull that when tied in a particular way, put pressure on those meridian points that activate the crown chakra. So there's science behind the head covering. There's that. Anyone have any questions about Kundalini Yoga or any questions for me in general? Not a thing? Where do I teach? That's a great question. So I teach at YogaWorks in Playa Vista here on Saturday afternoons at noon. And then I teach at YogaWorks in El Segundo at 7:30 in the evening. And I also do corporate wellness. So if you have a company who puts money, a professional organization that puts money toward wellness and yoga and mindfulness, I also go into corporations too. So if you're interested in learning more about that, you can take my card. Anyone have any other questions? Did you enjoy yourselves today? All right, Kirtan Kriya, remember it. Last thing I want to say to you guys, I have a little yoga retreat coming up. If anyone is interested in getting away at the end of January, I rented out a farmhouse in Ojai. I have a vegetarian chef coming and a massage therapist. It's from a Friday evening to a Monday morning. Yoga twice a day, vinyasa and kundalini, chef, massage, all included. And these are the flyers. So you can go onto my website and check it out. You want one? Yeah, here you go. All right, guys, so help yourselves to this. And
What's the date?
it's January 24th through the 27th. It's in Ojai. It's in Ojai. Yeah. Thanks, guys. And if we run out of space, there's a whole other guest house on the property that I could rent out if we so needed it. There you go. Thank you. Please let me know if you have any questions. KaraLooney.com if you want to go to my website. Thank you, guys.